Good morning and welcome back to the channel. My name's Eddie, this is my messy garage, this is my driveway, and all being well, when I open the garage, the Renault should be done. Which it is. Excuse my broken garage door. Right, so where are we at? Last time I came out here to do anything, I completely decided against doing pretty much anything. We did have a big project / idea on the go with regards to building a turbo setup for the back of this. I kind of decided against it in the end. Time, financial cost, everything else having to be uprated and breaking around it all came into it. Personal life has come into it, so circumstances there. So yeah, I decided to not go all out and have to go completely mental with the build on it, although it would be nice. I think it's really going to ruin the car. Where are we at the moment? We're at about 70-75 horsepower as it is, and we were going to struggle to keep it below 120 horsepower with the turbo engine build. Gearbox wouldn't have liked it. Probably destroyed all the bearings, the bushes, everything else on it would need uprating. Brakes on it are still the originals, though refurbished from 1968. There would have been a lot to it, a big project. Something I don't really want to take on at the moment, though, me being me and being the type of person I am, I can't leave it alone completely. So I've been making some calls, having some conversations with people on the internet, internet friends, mainly Sparky over the last one, Mark Branston. He's the guy who does all the 32 disc Renault 5 GT Turbo carb refurbs and builds. Used to own a Turbo too. He's pretty shit hot. Used to be, what did they used to have on one of the old clubs? Like the Turbo Guru, where you could just ask questions. He'd be one of the people that would be giving out the answers. Anyway, I've been chatting to him regarding an engine build that he did a while ago for another chap with a Renault 5 with regards to Atmo tuning. So I've actually, after speaking to him, contacted Piper Camshafts, and they've agreed to grind me a custom Atmo cam for this Renault 5 engine that I've got in the 8 that will make it a bit fruitier. Not really sure what to expect from it, just more. It's pretty wild. It's a 288 degree cam. It's got over 10 mil of lift on the inlet exhaust. Looking at the specs, they've been really helpful. I've kind of gone to them, told them what I've wanted. Well, told them what Mark's told me I wanted. And yeah, they've put one in grind, and I should have it next week. What I need to do now, and again, we're not doing a wild build now, is we need to change the camshaft. But on top of that, to complement the camshaft, I need to bump the compression ratio as well. Now, there's many ways to do this. If you had surplus cash, you just go, oh, I'll have some custom pistons made and chuck some rods in it and have the whole thing fully built. I don't even intend to touch the bottom end on this. What I'm going to do is remove the head and overskim the head and bump the compression ratio that way. And to start with, we're actually going to continue to run it on the Renault 8 S carb, which I have an adapter for, to run Renault 8 S carb, adapter for the manifold and carb for that to meet the Renault 5 head. Then I've got this 4-branch tubular manifold on there as well. But yeah, so really what I'm going to do is whip the head off. I'm going to get stuff out of the way. We're going to whip the head off and yeah, pull the cam out the back, hopefully without removing the engine. I have got a big access panel behind the number plate, which allows me to get in there. Yeah, whip that out. With the heads off, I can pull the followers out. I can send the head off for skimming. I can then put the cam in. We've gone for uprated springs and a vernier pulley so that it can be timed up perfectly. We'll slap it all back together, and then we'll get it down to Guy Higgs tuning. We'll get it on the dyno and see if we've gained anything. And I really hope we do. I mean, you've got a sporty cam in there. You've got extra valve lift so you can get more air in. You've got mappable ignition on here so we can really optimize it. The only thing that's may limit it is the carb itself. We haven't done any jetting on it. We just make sure that it's close enough and run it and map the ignition to suit. If that then becomes a restriction, I can, with my adapters, run a A110 style Weber 40 manifold, and we'll just switch over to a Weber 40. Side draft on there, some really snorty noises. Power, no idea. Be nice to jump from 70-ish to 90-ish. More if it's available. I mean, it does what it does. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So that shouldn't take us actually too long. Today's video is just going to be me ripping it apart. I've got a lot of fuel in the tank as well. So I run this on super unleaded all the time. So I'm actually just going to use the laptop, tell the ECU to drive the fuel pump, hopefully empty the tank that way. And then I'm going to chuck it in the daily driver. Whilst this is out though, I do want to remove the rear fuel tank. It's not in bad condition. If you've watched my videos from the start, you may know that very early on in this engine swap, I'm talking a year ago maybe, if not more, I damaged the bottom of the fuel tank and I had to patch it up with some Araldite and some, it might have even been a Guinness can. I literally just kissed the bottom enough for it to have a fuel leak. So I cleaned it up, drained it, cleaned it up, patched it up. But my plan was always to put a fuel tank at the front. We've got an aluminium tank in the bottom there. So what we'll do is we'll chop out some space at the front at some point, drop the fuel tank in there. It should give us a bit of a better balance in the car and give us some extra space at the rear as well. And yeah, I think I've got a fuel pump and regulator and things kicking around in the garage, so we can pipe it all up. But yeah, like I say, today is just going to be removing some bits. We'll get it all apart, see where we're at, and hopefully in a week or two we can start putting it back together. It shouldn't be off the road for a long time. It shouldn't cost me much. I'm hoping that some of my, if you're interested, turbo conversion parts sell soon, and that will offset anything else that I'm spending on this. And realistically, it should leave it with an engine and a gearbox setup that's not too stressed. Engine will be fine, gearbox not too stressed, but it'll last a lot longer than if I decide to chuck 120 horsepower through it with 120 plus foot-pound of torque. I think originally it had like 40 foot-pound of torque rated, or going through the gearbox. So yeah, it's probably going to break at some point, but hopefully not soon. And it should just give it that extra pep and pizzazz to boot around. Power should come up from, I think we peaked at power on this engine like 3.5, 4,000 RPM. And this should now change the power band from 2,500 to 6,500 RPM. So it should have a higher power, or more power, higher up the revs, more usable. That's my thinking anyway. Less chance of me completely ruining it. Anyway, let's get to work. So what's that, 5 minutes to get the rear panel out, undo it, take the fan out of the way. Once the fan's out, because it's leant back, you can lift everything out. I've had a fair few people ask me about fitting a Renault 5 engine in the back of a Renault 8 or Renault 10, and all I keep saying is you have to make sure that the block has got what we call the wings, or what I call the wings. So they're engine mounts that stick out there, and you can't see it very well, but the same on this side under where I've got the alternator mounted. And what that does is allow you to put the Renault 8 rear cross member into the block. Some of the different engines that are available out there don't have them. They've been chopped off in the factory, so you can't then mount this in easily using the standard mounts. This one has them. What you're looking for is a mount there and a mount there. Let's get this pulley out of the way. Can't get the belt off, but the pulley's out. little bit grimy down there, but nothing major. We've got the 36:1 pulley on the bottom there. That's going to have to come off because we're going to have to take this timing cover off once the head's out the way to access the cam and all that lark, and we'll retime it when we do that. But that's the bulk of it out. So yeah, I'll undo the alternator next, pull off the hoses from the heater matrix. We'll start undoing some of the gubbins on this side, and then rocker cover off, and we'll rip the head off. We are still pumping. It's going slower and slower, so I might have to put the battery charger on. I've had about 20 litres out, putting it into the back of the Clio. Oh, this will be 20 litres on filling this one. Oh, actually, there we go. Right after timing that is the last of it. Okay, let's turn that off. Change the test back to fuel pump. Pin 1 fuel pump. We're done on that. Right. Whilst that was emptying, I disconnected the V-band on the exhaust, disconnected the throttle cable off the carb. So now it's literally just pop the head bolts out, shock the head, and we should have it off. So yeah, let's do that now. So yeah, most of the stuff's disconnected. I'll separate the manifolds off the head once the head's out of the way. Let's get the blanking cover off for the distributor. I can't remember what size that is. Got a 10 and 12, so it's obviously going to be an 11. No, of course. This is actually a Dizzy Drive blank that I made previously because we run the 36:1 trigger wheel and the coil pack. No need for the distributor drive to drive the top end where the Dizzy would be, but it does need to be in place to keep the oil pump running. So got a little aluminium plate that I made, and then we've got a modified bottom section of the Dizzy. So what that does is keeps gear engaged and allows for the oil pump to keep turning. If you do that without, the gear will move up, disengage the oil pump, and then it's bye-bye engine. So yeah, if you're ever looking into doing an EFI or ignition conversion on one, make sure you chop off a Dizzy drive and blank it off. I mean, you can leave the whole Dizzy in there if you want, just looks a bit unsightly. Right, second time's charm. There we go. Hammer time. I don't know, it's got white silicone in it. It might be, I don't know what the factory's meant to look like. Answers on a postcard or in the comments below. Is that normal? Is that factory sealant or aftermarket sealant? So yeah, next we've got to whiz the pulley off, take this out of the way, then we can sort all this out, tension and whatnot. We should be able to just withdraw the cam. Probably take the tension off the chain really, but I'll do that in a minute. Bolt. Get this pulley out of the way. Got the 2 retaining bolts there. I think they're 10s. Drop something, it's the washer. Just to find that. Be on the floor somewhere. And now we're going to see whether we've actually got the space. Oh, left the bloody gear in. There's the gear I was talking about at the start of the video. It drives the oil pump as well as the dizzy. And why have I got an access hatch here, I hear you ask? Because race car. No, I was lazy when I first got the car. I've seen this on a lot of the race versions, but I was very lazy when I first got the car. I'm not sure if you watched the videos way back then, but I had to drill the head on the original engine. The water pump bolts had sheared off, snapped and whatnot, and it was a real mess. And at the time I didn't want to take the engine out, so I cut a hole. Looks like this hole's not big enough. Ah, yeah, pain in the ass. Let's jack the engine like an inch, just take the weight off it. Look at that, close though, isn't it? Oh, go on. That is so close to coming out. Right, there you go. Cam out of the block, engine just picked up at the back. It gives you just enough clearance with my racer spec access. There we are, prepped, ready for the new cam to go in. Give all this clean up, nothing major, and new set of gaskets. We're gonna strip down the head next, which is, again, isn't massive. Just got to take the manifolds off and the water pump, and that can be sent off for some material to be removed. I'm gonna have a chunk. I've got to do some measuring, but I've got to take a chunk off that to bump the compression up for me. So yeah, I think that will wrap up today's video. Apologies to those who've been wanting me to go turbo. I haven't done it, but it should be a little bit spicier, ready for the new year. So we've closed up. We've got the top end off, as you've seen. I've still got to strip down the head. I'll give that a do over the next couple of days. But yeah, we're in a very messy garage again, ready to go, waiting the cam from Piper. I need to find someone who can do a head skim on that and take some decent material off it. And then I've probably got to order up a few gaskets and bits and bobs. But yeah, so far so good. Wasn't too hard, probably a couple of hours taking my time. But looking good for a few more ponies with a fair few more revs. Again, apologies to those who were expecting the turbo build. I was expecting to do it. As you've seen in my last video, I kind of had bits and bobs going on and decided against it. But it doesn't mean we can do something a little bit fruity anyway. Yeah, got to keep on tinkering. Can't stop. Got to have something to do, haven't I? Idle hands and all that lot. But yeah, so we'll call this part one of the Atmo upgrade. 1397, target 90 horsepower. See what we can do without breaking the budget. If you want to like and subscribe, that'd be great. Follow me along on this journey. I've got plenty of videos already up regarding the Renault 8 engine swap and everything that I've already done to it, and my previous 57 Dauphine, which also had an engine swap, and some more modern stuff if you'd like to take a look around. But yeah, for me, that's the end of this video. Little update on what's going on. We'll call it Atmo part one, I guess, or something along those lines. And I'll see you in the next video when bits start turning up.